1,000 Faces on the Line, Mike Patton. Welcome to Triple R, Mike.
Hello, thanks.
In this band you've got Trevor Dunn from Mr. Bungle, Buzz Osborne from the Melbournes and Dave Lombardo, ex of Slayer. Now you guys have recorded your album and been on the road for a little while. How are you finding working with these guys?
It's an absolute, utter pleasure. It's really kind of a different caliber of musician. These guys really can kind of play anything, and they're up for playing anything, which is really the important part. So anything I throw at them, they swallow wholeheartedly and spit it back in my face. So I have the utmost respect for them. They're really amazing guys. So I feel lucky to be, I feel lucky that this band worked out. You never know how a band is going to go when you start it. It's like a little, like a chemical experiment or something. Sometimes it blows up in your face. But this one's going real smooth, and I'm really happy with it.
And what would you say to those who think that the Fantômas project is just a noise band with an unstructured format?
If they only knew. It may sound like that sometimes, but good Lord, every single one of those little screams and burps and farts are all very meticulously scripted out, and it took a hell of a long time to learn it and all that stuff. And I'd say to those people, hey, I'm under no illusions here. This band is not for everyone, and I would. I usually, when we go to a place, I try and do interviews and tell people that. This music is not, rated G. It's really, it's out there. It's definitely out on a limb, and you have to, see you, man, thanks. And you have to, you have to really be willing to go out, and go on a little trip with us to enjoy it.
Excellent. Now, the name was changed from a PH spelling to an F spelling because of a dream that Mike Borden had that said the PH would be bad luck. Is that the vision or dreams the sort of thing that you use to guide you?
Superstitions. It's all about superstitions. And you have to, follow your instincts on those kinds of things. And, everybody has their own little quirks. And although that one wasn't really mine, I really like Superstitions. I think they're really great, and I think if you don't have things like that in life to follow, then how boring would it be?
True. Now you played all the instruments on the original Fantômas demo, so will we be seeing maybe an instrumental credit on an album for you somewhere in the future?
God, no. This is nothing I would do really, in front of people. I think I've released a few things like that, but it's really kind of a private thing, and it's something that I do for the musicians that I play with so I can make myself understood, because I don't know how to write the shit down. I don't know how to, really communicate in any other way. I just have to play it. That's the way I write stuff, and that's the way I teach stuff to people. So, that's nothing I would ever wear on my sleeve. I can't really play instruments. I just fake it.
Now, on stage you have a bit of a sort of pulpit arrangement from which you perform with lots of different microphones and equipment.
Mm-hmm.
When did you start using that setup, and what sort of effects and equipment do you have in that?
It's a bunch of garbage, bunch of toys. I don't know. I change my setup for every kind of different band or project that I'm working on, because each thing kind of requires a different set of sounds, and this one requires mostly a lot of really nasty sounds, and so I run a lot of my vocals through guitar amps, so they have a real, so it sounds like somebody's voice getting thrown in a meat grinder. So stuff like that, little electronic toys and things like that make terrible, horrendous sounds, and run it through an amp at a high volume.
Your voice has certainly improved in its spectrum since your Faith No More days. What sort of things have you done to build up your vocal stylings?
Nothing. Just keep screaming my head off. So, I really think that the more that you play and the more you abuse your voice, the more you learn about it, and the stronger it gets. And I don't know. I think that that's true for any instrument or any musician or anybody who has any creative aspirations whatsoever. If you're open for it, there's a whole world out there, and it's up to you to find the doors and bust them open and go in and learn something. And there's always something to learn. So the moment I kind of stop that and feel bored, boy, that's the end. I mean, that's kill yourself, what are you going to do? Go out and pick up girls, do drugs, work a shitty fucking stiff job, for 60 years and get a I don't know. To me, I think the world's a really bleak place, and to have an outlet like I have, I feel really lucky. So that's the way I look at it.
Now, your musical taste is obviously quite diverse. Were you exposed to lots of different music when you were growing up?
Not really. I would, like I say, there's something in you that makes you go find things, and you have to have a sense of adventure, and you have to, there was a period of time where I didn't want to hear anything. I didn't want to hear anything different. People are really their own worst enemies in a lot of ways, and I only wanted to hear like punk rock and death metal and stuff like that when I was growing up. And then I went through a period where, that's all bullshit. All I want to hear is, jazz, or, and then all of a sudden, as you grow up, you start kind of thinking, well, wait a minute, what was I thinking back when I was 16? There's some good shit in there. There's some good shit everywhere. So you gotta box yourself in and make sure you leave yourself a few windows to see what's going on in the real world.
Now, just a little bit about Bungle, perhaps. Where did the secret language on the Disco Volante album come from?
The what?
You had a made-up sort of language on that album, didn't you?
No.
No?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Maybe there was a song or two where I just had some wordless vocals, which I do pretty much entirely in this band now. There's no real lyrics. It's a lot of vocal sounds and things like that. Things that I try and make come off like lyrics. And a lot of people tell me, wow, there's really no lyrics there. It kind of sounds like there are, which to me is good. The ear, kind of, your ear fills in the gap. People are so used to being talked to and spoken to when they're listening to singers and vocalists and music that, I don't know, I just think it's a real tired thing. And especially with this band, there's enough information going on where, all you need is some asshole standing up on stage in a microphone preaching at you. So sometimes, a vocalist shouldn't use words, and I'm kind of in a place now where I'm exploring that.
And when you were writing mostly lyrics, did you write from an autobiographical standpoint?
No, never, God. That would be a very short, I don't even know if I could fill one song, so my life is not that interesting. You really need to be a good thief and be, I don't know. You need to take things from all sources. You need to be an actor a little bit when you're a singer, I think, and especially writing lyrics. For Christ's sakes, you got to invent.
Now, the last Bungle album, California, was a fairly pop-sounding record by your own admission. Did you sort of expect to break through to a larger audience with that album?
No, not at all. It would have been, it would have been nice. That would have been great. But at the end of the day, Bungle's not really a band that's ever, no matter what kind of music we're playing, if we're playing, drum and bass, disco, hip-hop, whatever the hell is the current trend, it's not going to happen. We don't write anything, even though I think that pop record sounded straight to us and pop to us. We played it for our label, and they looked at us like we were insane. That sounds like any old Mr. Bungle record, they said to us. So, what do we know? We're a little too close, to really have any perspective on how our music fits into the real, into the musical universe, which, out there in pop music is Britney Spears, no doubt. Are you fucking kidding me? We're never, ever going to be a part of that,
Now, you guys, the Bungle does a few covers in the set, and there's long been rumours that those versions have been recorded and are going to be released. Are we ever going to see that?
Very doubtful. Those covers are just kind of special things that are meant to happen live and to be kind of a treat for that night. We change them all the time, and from tour to tour, I don't know how. We've really done a lot of them over the years, and I think that's just something that makes a live concert special. You'll hear things that aren't recorded. You hear things that, you may not expect.
Now, let's talk for a moment about Ipecac. Who else is involved in the label, and what's the philosophy?
It's just me and a friend of mine, a guy who ran this label, Alternative Tentacles, this punk label in San Francisco for, about 15 years. It's just me and him. That's it. It's very simple, and the philosophy is simple as well. We want to put out, great music that doesn't really have a home anywhere else, and we're not interested in finding the next big thing or spending a bunch of money trying to pimp a certain project or band. That's it. I mean, really, it's about putting out great music that doesn't have a home.
Now, there's some particularly fine artwork on the new Fantômas CD. Do you think that the artwork is as important as the music inside the CD?
Absolutely. I think it's a part of the music. Hey, are you hearing that noise?
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell that is.
Oh, that's cool. Pick up.
Sorry. Artwork, yes, absolutely. At least in my opinion. It's for the music that I'm making now, especially with this band, it's pretty abstract music, and in a way, I see the artwork as, kind of inviting the listener in and explaining a little bit of the music. I think it has to be, hand in hand, just as important as the music. And especially, like I say, with this band Fantômas, the music is pretty abrasive, and it kind of, I think at first listen would push a lot of people away, and that's not what I want to do. And with the artwork, I tried to make it really beautiful, really sharp, and really seductive, because, I know that people need a little bit of help with this music,
Now that you have your own label, is there any fear of you becoming the big record company man one day?
Oh, yeah, I'm wearing a suit right now, and, I got a little company credit card, and they take people out to dinner all the time, and this is not calling Ipecac a record company in certain aspects is quite a joke. I get a real laugh out of it, because literally it's me, one guy, we don't have, and another guy. We don't have an office. We don't have any employees. We have a phone number and a desk full of papers, and that's all you could really call a record label.
Are there any artists that you're keen to get signed up to Ipecac in the future?
There's a few. We're working on a bunch of stuff for next year, and certain things are, looking a little more plausible than others. We're going to be doing this crazy rap record by this really freakish New York rapper called Sensational, who does it all on 4-track, like really lo-fi, really nice sounding stuff. We're going to be doing a record by this Japanese band called X-Girl. 3, they're pretty interesting and fun. What else? A bunch of other stuff. I've been, talking to a bunch of other bands, and we'll see. I mean, the plate is definitely full, and the way I like to do it is get to a lot of things, and then half of them will fall apart, and you'll be left with the good ones, hopefully.
Now, Australia's quite a way away from where you live, yet you seem to find your way down here with most of your projects. Why do you choose Australia as a touring destination?
I think they just choose me. It's not like I woke up one day and said, hey, I'm going to take this, 3-piece noise group I got down to, I mean, literally, we got an offer to come down here, and I looked at the numbers and made sure that it made sense. And I said, yeah, and I've been down here a lot of times with Faith No More. We spent a lot of time down here, so maybe in certain ways that laid a little bit of groundwork for me here. I mean, hopefully, every time you come here, you hope that you meet some new people and can, communicate with somebody. And, if you can keep coming back to a place, I think it's a pretty good thing. So, yeah, every time I've been down here, it's been pretty good and reasonably successful. So I don't think I'll stop coming anytime soon.
Now, after this tour with Fantômas, what's the next move for the band?
Japan. We're going to Japan in a couple weeks, like right after this Australian tour. And I'm really looking forward to that. I haven't been there in about 5 years, so. And then we're going to go into the studio in January and February and record 2 records for next year.
Apart from outside of music, what other passions do you have? What do you do to inspire you?
I wish I knew. Sit in front of the TV and masturbate? I don't know. if I knew what inspired me, I wouldn't be here talking to you right now, I'll be quite honest. You know what I mean? If I knew where to get inspiration, if I knew, you know, what it was that made me tick, I would be off doing it right now. I don't know. That's probably, you know, part of the, you know, part of the fun in it.
So you don't jog or, you know, collect rare art or something like that?
Well, you know, I got a lot of things that I like to do. I just don't get around to them much. Music is pretty much it for me. It started, you know, just as kind of a hobby and a fun thing, and you know, it still is, but it's also it's taken on, and pretty much swallowed my life whole. You know, I don't take vacations anymore. I don't do a lot of traveling, you know, for pleasure anymore, because I do it so much for this. So, yeah, I mean, when I'm home, I pretty much lock the door. I try and stay inside and be domestic, because that's very exotic to me. And write new music. You know, I think that I'd be really happy if I could stop touring a little bit, write a few new records. To me, that's wonderful.
Outside of the music that you're involved in with your label and your performance, what sort of stuff are you listening to?
Oh, God. Lots and lots of things. I go out and buy new records a couple times a week. So I've got stacks and stacks of stuff that I've bought, and I just try and every once in a while stop and do some catch up. And right now I've got, you know, probably 50 to 100 CDs that I need to listen to. But what I've been going on lately is Speedy West, this country pedal steel player. Been listening to the new Melbourne record, this Japanese hardcore band, really great. Been listening a lot to the Melvins, Cool Keith, it's Massive Attack. What else? I thought that new Radiohead record was pretty overrated. I went out, rushed out and bought that, and I didn't think it was all that. I liked the way it was recorded, but I didn't think it was, you know, some kind of masterpiece that would, you know, dazzle me for the next 20 years. Ooh, I want to get this new record by this Australian band Damaged, who I really like. Death metal band. Really interesting one.
Cool.
I've been listening to a lot of Sammy Davis Jr.
What do you think of the whole Napster debate?
Who cares? It doesn't, I don't have any, I don't even know what it is. I don't give a damn. It's all a bunch of fucking hot air. You know, the people that are complaining are a bunch of pampered, you know, spoiled millionaires, and the people who should be complaining think it's fucking great. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, the people who Napster really are ripping off are the fucking nobodies who think Napster's the greatest thing since sliced bread. To me, the whole thing is just ass backwards, and the millionaires are complaining. What kind of fucking world are we living in here?
Now, back to your career. You've played in the big stadiums, and, you know, you're well respected. You've got your own label. You've got your own freedom to do what you want. What's left for you to achieve professionally?
Oh, plenty. I don't sit around and think about that kind of stuff, first of all, so I don't have a good answer, but there's, like I say, that's kind of what it's all about, is putting yourself in new situations, trying new things, and, you know, trying to stretch, you know, your talent to, you know, to the maximum, you know, for that particular night or that particular record or you know, that particular phase in your life. And I don't know. I don't see myself as, like, you know, happy, satisfied, sitting on my throne up on a hill looking down at all of the things that I've done and feeling proud. I just don't. To me, it's morbid to sit down and look back and reminisce about things like that. And I'm proud of most of the things I've done, but I just don't feel comfortable, you know, resting. I think if you sit down and think too much about yourself, you know, you could get shot. You're a target. As long as you're moving, no one can hit you.
Do you do anything special to psych yourself up before a gig?
I eat as big of a meal as I can, and I try and find a really nice restaurant in a town and fucking just gorge myself, because and that, you know, no matter how the gig goes, it just puts me in the right space, and I've had mine, and I don't know, it works for me.
Okay. And lastly, what do you do to take care of your voice on the road, if anything?
Nothing. I don't have anything that I do. You know, Listerine maybe? I don't know. I really don't. My voice gets sore when I begin a tour, and then it just kind of levels off. It forgets how to feel pain after a while. It's like, you know, lifting weights or something. You know, if you do it every day, you don't get sore anymore. So these first couple shows, I'll be like, you know, kind of scratchy, and then I'll be fine.
Excellent. Well, on behalf of myself and everybody here that listens to Triple R, I would say thanks very much. All the best for the future.
Okay, man.
Lovely. Thanks
so
much,
again.
Mike.
Take care, man.
Cheers.
See you, Gary. Thanks.